What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today, ZEC Hit that like button, subscribe, let's get into it. Okay, here we are. It is the 26th day of October. Here we are at about $337 with 9 hours and 2 minutes left in the day, effectively breaking out of this range. It looks like we are, in fact, breaking out of this range. We look at the weekly time frame, we zoom out, and Zcash has clearly been in a long-term, what we know now, in a cumulative phase here, right? Descending triangles, a lot of people would assume break out to the downside, but they can break out to the upside too. And we know that it's accumulative because of the reaction that we're having here, right? The supply dried up, and now that supply shock's coming in, we're getting the price to provide higher levels, and we are likely going to exceed this level here in a W kind of style formation. Typically with W's, you expect, and I do think that this is a W if we look at it here. I would say that this is a perfect W. It's like an Adam and Eve. You've got like a triple bottom overall, but this is a W effectively right here. Typically with W's, you expect to go where the pattern started, but just above there. Like if this was a W pattern in price, you'd expect this leg to move up above this leg, and you probably stop just above there. That's where you consolidate and then continue moving higher, okay? And you'll probably consolidate just like this. I really wouldn't be surprised. We've seen this happen enough times. I've been doing technical analysis for 10 years. Whenever I tell you we're probably going to move just above this area and then consolidate like that and then continue to rally, that's probably exactly what's going to happen, right? These W's, whenever you get W's like this, typically this phase here of the W, it's a bull flag. It's a bull flag, right? You see what I'm going for? So that would promote more growth afterwards as well. But we'll see. The main thing that I think we should focus on right now is getting above this price. Because as much as Zcash has moved over the past few weeks, we look at this here. Let's just say, not even from the low, but from the lows of September 22nd that week, the low to high here, we've moved up 7x, you guys, 7x in what effectively is 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks now. Crazy growth in a very short amount of time, 7x. Once you get above this midpoint here, you're likely going to propel yourself above this high, right? Typically, once you get above the midpoint, there's no dilly-dallying. As fast as you've moved here, you're going to move very, very fast to prices, I think, that are above $900. We might move all the way up to $1,000, you guys, because again, typically you move above where the W started. So going up to $1,000, psychological resistance there, maybe even a little bit higher. You consolidate and then you continue to rally. I want to look and see what fib targets would make the most sense here. Let's see, from a high to a low. The targets that make the most sense are anything from $877, which that's just below this area. I wouldn't expect that you stop there, but it could happen, to about $1,373. You probably do push just beyond $1,000. I bet that we do see a $1,400 to $1,500 price come into play. Typically, you don't stop right at the 1 for 1 4. You actually go just above it. So something again at like $1,400 to $1,500 might be an expectation from here. We're at $339. You've seen a 7x in like the last 4 weeks, and we're talking about you doing another 3x, 4x in what will probably be another week or two. I mean, hell, it could be another week from now that you're up at these prices. It could be the first week of November that you're at these prices because, again, with these W's, man, whenever you get above this point, you really do take off. And we're almost at that point now. I mean, we're literally right there at that point right now. Anyways, I want to look at the short-term stuff. A lot of this thought that we've gone over so far, it really hinges on the idea that this is a true breakout, not that it's a fake out. If it's a fake out, we would likely pull back down. We might even see lower levels than what we saw back here, and that's fine. You can fake out. Sometimes you consolidate more, whatever. We thought that it was a breakout, and really it's just a megaphone pattern. I don't know. That happens. We've got Bitcoin is a prime example of that, right? Like quite literally, prime example. Megaphone right there. It happens. It literally happens, but. Let's see if we can validate that this is a real move, or if we have reasons to expect to come back in the short term. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there. 1 hour time frame, and let's use something with volume on it. We'll use the Binance chart. USDT has the most volume in the world for this traded pair. That's a lot of volume in the last hour and a pretty big wick, but don't let that intimidate you. You had a big wick here, a lot of volume. You still pushed higher, right? You had some. I'm trying to find an example. All I'm trying to say is that it's these deceitful candles. These candles with these wicks, they can be deceitful, right? They can definitely push you higher. Sometimes they tell the truth, but I wouldn't be intimidated by that strictly alone. It is kind of intimidating, though. You are overbought. You're very overbought. You're at the 88 on your RSI. That's pretty high. Do you guys hear that? Hold on. Nope. Okay. I'll deal with that later. Anyways, stochastics look super bullish, man. The MACD is also looking very bullish as well. I mean, typically when you get this high in the RSI, and you can go higher, you absolutely can. Typically when you get this high in the RSI, you do expect continuation. It's not just a one-off move, right? The one-off moves in the RSI, whenever you get in the overbought zone, they're like this. Those are the one-off moves. But whenever you get this overbought, let's just see. Yeah, like here, let's just, as an example, okay, put this line right here. We'll go over here, do a couple of these. When you got here, was that the end of the move? I'm going to guess no. Probably not, right? You would think, oh, we're super overbought, we're coming down, that's the end of the move. Probably not. I would bet, you look at the RSI, it looks like it's the end of the move. You didn't push higher afterwards. But just let's look at the price, okay? With these two correspondent areas. Once you got this deep in the RSI, we're going to see that this is actually just the beginning of more to come. Typically. Not always, but typically. I hope. If not, this will backfire, but let's just see. Because I don't know. I haven't looked at this beforehand. Yeah, look at that, right? Right here at that level. Was there more to go? Did you grow and then consolidate a little bit? Yes, you consolidated, but was this? Would you say that was the end of the move? This is a waypoint to something that was bigger that was coming, right? In other words, that level in the RSI, the same level that we're at now, was a foreshadowing of bullish things to come, right? You stalled for like a day or two, and then you moved up higher, but you didn't even see lower lows. Here, right? Was this the end of the move right here? Was this the end of the move? Now you moved up, and on a 1 hour time frame, sure, you consolidated a little bit, but hell no, the move was this. You stopped right here. You weren't even halfway done with the move, right? So in that same context, and again, going with this same idea that this was your overall move, and this is where the stopping point was once your RSI was at the same levels here and here that it is now. Look at the context. That's like that's 1/3 of a move. That's like maybe a little bit more than a third of this move here. We are hitting those same levels now, and you've got this movement here. Might you consolidate? Sure. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you push higher immediately. I don't know. Time will tell. But in the context of this as a move overall, we have this line here. If we were to draw this in proportion, I mean, let's just say that we're halfway through the move. Which I doubt. I would bet that we're like a third of the way through the move. We probably have more than that. That would at least push us up to $443. If we were to draw a line that's like respective to this line, but it makes it like a 1/3, probably like roughly like there, maybe something like this, right? Something like that. Is that like a third? 1, 2, 3. It looks like a third to me, roughly. I mean, that could push us up above $500 right now. This is the 1 hour time frame. We're talking about by the end of the month, Zcash could be well above $500, you guys. Well above $500. Absolutely, it could. So that's nice. That's a good look there. Might we stop momentarily? 54 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. Are we going to move up above $400 to $500 today? Probably not. We probably do chill a little bit as we did, the prior two times that we were at this area. Maybe we push up a little bit higher first, but the chilling, the consolidating, don't let that make you panic sell, okay? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I'd be looking to buy probably at the points that we found resistance before if you're trying to catch this next move. Whether it's could be as low as 291. Maybe it's as low as 310. Perhaps you don't even pull back that low. Perhaps you consolidate in something that's a little bit tighter. You might not even go that low. It's hard to say. Maybe we find support on this trend line here from this high point to this high. Oh, what the? Oh, haha. That was a horizontal line. We can't have that. High to high here. Maybe you pull back and you find support right there at $318. I don't know. But some kind of consolidation phase, I bet, is what happens over the next day or two. And then you continue to rally. 4 hour time frame here. RSI is looking spectacular. You're getting overbought consistently, not getting oversold once. We love to see that. Stochastics are overbought. The MACD bouncing off the zero line here, crossing back green, building bullish momentum. You look so good, man. You look like you have a lot of room to grow. A lot of room. This really, again, I think is a breakout. I think if we're looking at the charts effectively, I'm not seeing any kind of suggestion that we're going to reject here and see a major kind of crash. Anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. And I want to say this right now while we're actually on this topic. If Zcash were to quote unquote crash back down to prices below $300, even down to like $200, even a little bit below $200, even if that were to happen, you're still consolidating here on top of this massive move. Everything we've talked about will still happen. You just have a speed bump ahead of you. That's my thought there. So if that happens, and I highly doubt it does, but if we get some kind of crash with Zcash, you bought the high and that sucks, but you don't have to sell the low. Don't make the mistake and sell the low. Buy the low or just hold it, and when time comes, it'll definitely rip and it'll see higher prices. But I don't think any of that's going to happen. I'm not worried. I want to be very clear. I'm not worried about this being a fake out at all. Maybe a little bit in the beginning of the video we had that concern, and I think that's appropriate. But after looking at the short term stuff, I have zero concerns. I think you're absolutely destined for higher prices to the tune of like 100 or 200 or maybe even $300 higher than you are now in a very like by the end of this month, in a very very short amount of time. Let alone by the end of this move. Again, we're expecting that you go all the way up to about $1,400 to $1,500, something in that range there, probably in November at some point. So I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you're wondering what my cycle high projections are, let's actually go over that real quick. Cycle high projections, new all-time highs first and foremost. I want to be clear in what I mean by new all-time highs. I shouldn't say new all-time highs. New highs relevant to this cycle here. I don't think that we're going to see prices all the way up at $30,000. I think that we're going to see prices well above $1,000. My expectation is we play probably off of this high to low mechanic right here. So my thoughts, or dynamic, sorry, not mechanic, dynamic, that would be something on the lines of a $2,500 price to a $10,000 price by the end of the cycle for Zcash. It is possible that we see higher prices. I don't think we do. I think that $10,000 is actually probably going to be the cycle top. That's about a 28x from here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if 10K golden ratio extension of this overall zone. I would not be surprised in the least if that was where you stopped off at. But if you were to go higher, 28 to 43K is a possible expectation to have. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, man. But I'm looking more probably something at 5K to 10K. That's the price range by the end of the cycle. Okay. Hit the like button. And when's the end of the cycle? I can hear you saying probably, I mean, who knows? April, May, June. That's my expectations. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.